Good morning. Now on Good Day, we're about to crank the heat up once again. Sherry is tracking how high temperatures might get this week.
Plus, how a driving program hopes to keep teens safer on the streets this summer.
And right now, President Donald Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un are set for an historic summit. We'll tell you what we've already learned about that meeting.
8 News Now Good Day, the Valley's news leader, starts right now.
Now, live, this is 8 News Now Good Day.
4 o'clock. Where were we? There we are. 4 o'clock Monday morning. How you doing? Thanks for joining us on Good Day. I'm John Langler.
And I'm Nia Wong, in for Kirsten Joyce.
Hot weekend, breezy, windy, kind of like the hair dryer mentality. I feel like.
You know, I love the heat, but I had to stay indoors mostly. What about you?
Oh, I was outside. I was baking in the heat, Sherry. It was very, very warm.
Yeah, you said you had outdoor plans all weekend, John, so a little tough bearing up against the winds. We did have 35, 40-mile-an-hour winds as we got through Saturday and into Sunday, but the good thing about it is those winds actually brought in some cooler 90s yesterday, but still hot enough for pool weather. Hopefully you took care of yourselves, the pets, the little ones in the heat. We've got a lot of 70s around the valley now. We dropped from low triple digits to the upper 90s yesterday, so not a big change with that system that blew through. And you can see it is much cooler up north where they've got rain and snow through the Pacific Northwest and the Northern Rockies. But we're going to go right back into those triple digits and with a vengeance by the middle of the week. 90s through the morning, mid-90s early afternoon, and we're going to finish off your Monday right back above normal at 102. Lots of water. We have excessive heat watches to talk about. Right now, we're on the roads dark and early on this Monday morning. Let's check in with Nate.
Thank you very much, Sherry, and good morning to you. We have been very much free of traffic interruptions from Project Neon over the weekend. You know, then several weekends where we've had complete closures, ramp closures. Well, here's the northbound 95 to the South 15 flyover ramp. It is wide open, and here folks are taking that ramp. No work on what will be the new bridge on I-15 over the 95, and the Spaghetti Bowl is looking clear, as is most of the freeway system at this hour. Keep an eye on it all morning long. John, Dia?
Thanks, Nate. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says car crashes are the #1 killer of Nevada's teenagers.
And as we enter the summer, a nonprofit is working to steer young drivers towards safety. Darlene Melendez shows how teenagers are facing those dangers head on.
We want to have all these young drivers to have a long lifetime of driving ahead of them.
School's out for the summer. It's time to relax, but not behind the wheel.
There's a lot of idiots out there on the road, and you really need to have a what-if mentality.
Jeff Payne is the founder of Driver's Edge. For 16 years, he's navigated thousands of young drivers through dangers like this one.
I'll look over here. Steer. Okay, steer that way, steer that way, steer that way. Straight ahead, straight ahead. You just did it.
That was Ashton Robinson behind the wheel. The teen driver was nervous at first, but he made it through.
To be more aware of my surroundings and just keep under control when these situations do happen.
Payne created the program for new drivers like Ashton and their parents.
Being more sure that when he's out there driving, that any situation he gets into, that I know that he's going to have the education to get out of it. And then also a perk, I get a little insurance bump.
NHP says every year Valley teens are killed in fatal crashes. Some aren't preventable, but some are.
I like to call this group, it's never going to happen to me. They're all young drivers. You know, they're never going to get hurt. They need to realize that driving a car is a privilege, it's not a right, and it's also an awesome responsibility.
In the process, the young drivers learn that a handbook can only teach you so much, and you won't know how you'll handle that what if until you face it head on.
You really need to be aware, expect the unexpected, and when the unexpected does happen, don't freak out.
Darlene Melendez, 8 News Now.
The Driver's Edge program is free for drivers up to 21 years old. All that's needed is a license or a driver's permit.
Metro police are looking for the person who shot and killed a man near the east side of the Las Vegas Strip. It happened late Saturday night near the intersection of Twain and Paradise. That's where officers found a man's body with a gunshot wound. So far, police have not released what the gunman looks like or said what led to the violence. But if you do have any information, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers.
New this morning, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo just updated reporters on this week's summit between President Donald Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Both sides are in Singapore right now, which is hosting the event. Pompeo said this summit will give the clearest indication yet whether North Korea intends to give up its nuclear ambitions. President Trump says he feels good about the meeting, but also warned he will walk out if he doesn't feel that things are going smoothly. President Trump did travel to Singapore from the G7 summit in Canada. He left early and withdrew from a joint statement with U.S. allies on trade. The U.S. and Canada have been at odds over President Trump's plans to impose tariffs on imported steel products. After leaving the summit, President Trump accused the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau of making false statements and being very dishonest. Nia?
Today, net neutrality officially ends for millions of internet users across the United States. The Obama-era rules were put in place to regulate internet service providers. Mary Maloney takes a look at how the changes could affect you.
Though major internet service providers say the web will remain essentially unchanged after net neutrality rules are rolled back, according to Consumer Reports, there are few things consumers should keep an eye out for once deregulation goes into effect. Zero-rating plans, also called sponsored data plans, allow customers to access a specific service without using data. ISPs use zero-rating plans to promote a particular service, usually one they own or have a stake in. Data caps are expected to become widespread for broadband service. If customers hit their data limit, ISPs could either throttle their bandwidth or charge fees for increased data usage. Paid prioritization enables ISPs to charge access fees to content providers like Google, Facebook, and Netflix in order to send content to consumers, and the fees could vary depending on the bandwidth required. Companies that pay more are essentially given higher priority. Paid prioritization can lead to price hikes for internet access. Content providers can raise subscription rates or monthly fees for customers in order to offset the cost of access fees. And the last major concern is blocked content. ISPs could change their terms of service to censor content deemed offensive or immoral, or they could block websites or apps that offer competing services to their own. The most effective way for consumers to protect themselves from any upcoming change is to read the fine print on their service plans. For Consumer Watch, I'm Mary Maloney.
Tomorrow is primary election day here in Nevada. If you didn't cast your ballot early, you can do so still tomorrow at any of 172 voting centers. We have all the locations and the hours on our website. Our Politics Now team is hosting a one-hour election special starting at 9. We'll have a breakdown of all the winners on 8 News Now at 11.
Time is now 4:07, and next, Broadway's big night, the Tonys.
That's right.
The moving tribute from survivors of the Parkland school shooting and the controversial comments from a Hollywood star that were cut out of the West Coast broadcast.
Plus, the music. History lost when this museum in Washington State goes up in flames. You're watching 8 News Now. Good day.
You're watching the Valley's news leader with Kirsten Joyce, John Langler, Sherry Swensk, and Nate Tannenbaum. This is 8 News Now. Good day.
A soggy mess in parts of North Iowa. Heavy weekend storms dumped rain all across the plains. In Mason City, some roads there you see looked more like rivers. In addition to the heavy rain, the storms included high winds. They knocked down trees, damaged some buildings. An elderly couple had to be rescued from their home Saturday, but beyond that, no one else was seriously hurt.
People in Washington state are mourning the loss of history that went up in flames over the weekend. The Aberdeen Armory building burned Saturday morning. The museum got international attention for showcasing memorabilia from the band Nirvana. Also notable, Kurt Cobain grew up in Aberdeen. It also housed other art and iconic items from the early 1900s.
This morning, hundreds of people have been evacuated from their homes in southwest Colorado as a fast-moving wildfire approaches. The fire near Durango nearly doubled in size yesterday to about 26 square miles. It's burning on private land in the San Juan National Forest. Mandatory evacuations are in place for about 1,300 people, and many had just a few hours to gather their belongings.
The older you get and the closer you get to heaven, you realize this is just things. It's just stuff. It's not what really matters. And so you try to disconnect.
So far, no structures have been lost, but winds are making it very difficult for crews to contain that fire.
The Best of Broadway were recognized at last night's Tony Awards, but as Laura Podesta reports, the show itself may end up being remembered for one poignant and one controversial moment of the night.
Students from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School took center stage at last night's Tony Awards. The survivors of the Parkland school shooting that killed 17 of their classmates and teachers performed Seasons of Love from Rent.
What a thrill to be in the same house as those amazing children. Weren't they marvelous?
And oh, Marjorie. When the envelopes were opened, the band's visit ended as the night's big winner, taking home 10 awards, including Best Musical. The play is about members of an Egyptian police orchestra who accidentally end up in the wrong Israeli town. Tony Shalhoub and Katrina Lenk both nabbed Tonys for their leading roles.
And this filled my stupid little heart with so much joy.
It was a good night for two-part plays. Harry Potter and the Cursed Child took home 6 awards, including Best Play. And a revival of Tony Kushner's Angels in America won 3 big awards, including acting trophies for Andrew Garfield and Nathan Lane.
I'm standing here because Tony wrote one of the greatest plays of the 20th century, and it is still speaking to us as powerfully as ever in the midst of such political insanity.
The most controversial part of the evening is already trending on social media, when Robert De Niro attacked President Trump using a word that had to be silenced for viewers at home. Laura Podesta, CBS News, New York.
Next, the program paying you even more to change your landscaping.
An incredible crash also caught on camera. Look at that. How customers of a donut shop escaped from an out-of-control truck. You're watching 8 News Now. Good day. Good morning.
She's what's wrong with politics.
You're watching 8 News Now. Good day.
All right, check out this incredible video from south of Seattle. That's a truck slamming into a donut shop. Someone either really wanted donuts or might have been driving under the influence. Chances are it's the latter. A suspected DUI driver is the one who was in that vehicle. The pickup truck narrowly missed other customers. You can see people dive for safety. And this same donut shop has been hit at least 6 times over 25 years. So the owners have installed giant blocks to keep vehicles from slamming through the building.
That was a good move to install the blocks, that is. All right, the hotter days are here and you're watering more to keep your lawn green. That costs you more, of course. So if you're interested in getting rid of that expensive water-thirsty grass, right now is a great time because rebate rates have increased. So it's the best time to get the biggest payback for cashing in your lawn. The Southern Nevada Water Authority will pay you to convert your turf lawn to a water-smart landscape, and they've increased the rebate rates to their highest ever to $3 a square foot. Now, the incentive is hard to resist. Not only are you making money on the grass you're removing, but you'll also be saving roughly 55 gallons of water per square foot every year. But before you go ripping out your lawn, you must apply for the rebate and get your conversion areas reviewed and approved with an on-site visit by the Water Authority. So after you're approved, SNWA can help you with landscape installation ideas or give you a list of professional contractors if you don't want to do it yourself, and even help you choose the right plants for your designs. So after you complete your converted landscape, you'll receive your cash rebate plus the water savings on your water bill month after month. It's very important that you apply either online or call 702-258-SAVE to get a printed application if you don't want to do it online. Then send it in, wait for your on-site inspection before you start digging. We have the link to apply for your rebate on our website, LasVegasNow.com. So this is a perfect time when you think about $3 per square foot. Say you only had a 20 by 20. All right, so that's what, 400 square feet times 3. You're looking at $1,200.
Big savings
right there. And if you want to get fancy, put in rocks and all kinds of, maybe even some exotic desert plants, whatever, you're going to get paid to help put in that xeriscape. And you're going to be saving what you'd be spending on your water bill.
Yeah, and I feel like this is the time of year where people realize, oh, we should have done that over the fall or in the spring or something like that. It's 100-something degrees. Why didn't we do that earlier? Now's the time.
Well, do it now because you will get the payback.
Absolutely.
I mean, they've really raised the prices, so it's time to cash in. Never too late. Never say too late. Oh, the moon just slipped out of this view from our Red Rock camera. I'm going to get it back in the shot here in the next half hour. It is absolutely beautiful. It's just a thumbnail of a moon set up out there. We still have a little bit of a breeze. You can see the palm trees blowing around, but boy, was it a windy weekend. We had 35, 40-mile-an-hour winds, and those winds came along with a weak cold front, which actually helped pull temperatures down. We're 79 degrees, but look how dry, only 10% humidity. We are going to stay dry and hot. Showers and thunderstorms rolling over the northern plains, kind of the same pattern that we've seen over into the Midwest, where they've had that terrible flooding over the weekend. All right, so increasing heat, the temperatures are going to jump up pretty quickly. We're looking at excessive heat watches now that have been issued for Tuesday and Wednesday. Right now, the valley could see 105 to near 112 or higher by tomorrow and Wednesday. Along the Colorado River Valley, easily 115. And Death Valley will probably reach a high of about 120 by midweek. So as that ridge of high pressure builds in, that builds the heat. But it looks like the heat breaker will be Hurricane Bud, which is down here off the coast of Mexico, which will travel right up Baja, bring cloud cover and cooler temperatures as we get to the end of the week. All right, so we're going to be pretty warm to hot as we get through the week, above 105 along the Colorado River Valley. Today, for the Valley, 102 for Las Vegas. Not too much in the way of wind, and already starting off the week well above normal. We'll increase the heat, 106, 107 officially Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we see the numbers trend down with the nicer 90s arriving for the weekend for Dad's Day. That's going to help a little bit, I think, being out barbecuing. 421, let's get to the roads with Nate.
Good news is we don't have a lot of hot stuff on the roads right now, Sherry. We're keeping an eye on the northbound 95 to the South 15 flyover ramp. Often closed overnight with Project Neon. That is not the case. You see the folks taking that ramp, and here they are coming around that flyover. This will be the new I-15 eventually, but there's no work on it right now. South 15 temporarily, North 15, of course, it's been temporary for months now, and that's going to continue to be the case until Project Neon is supposed to be finished next summer, summer of 2019. Right now, no big slowdowns in the Spaghetti Bowl. We're keeping an eye on the rest of the freeway system. Looks like there's some slowing for some reason southbound on the 95-515 around the Charleston curve. There are no accidents showing there. Just be aware of some potential slowing. John, Nia?
Thanks, Nate. Next, a horror classic gets a terrifying reboot.
Plus, just how much the women of Ocean's 8 were able to steal away at the box office.
You're watching 8 News Now. Good day.
And that will be hosting its annual ball. And we are going to rob it.
The larcenous ladies of Ocean's 8 stole away the top spot at the box office. The heist flick debuted with $41.5 million over the weekend. It knocked Solo to second place with just $15 million. Avengers: Infinity War made the top 5 for a 7th weekend in a row, netting a domestic total of $655 million at the box office. A new movie trailer took over the internet this weekend.
And this one's not for the faint of heart.
He's waited for this night. He's waited for me.
That's Jamie Lee Curtis back in the role that launched her career in 1978. In the long-awaited Halloween sequel, Laurie Strode goes head-to-head with serial killer Michael Myers once again. The reboot picks up 40 years after the original, completely ignoring the past sequels. Halloween hits theaters in October. And Channing Tatum is bringing the stage version of Magic Mike to London. The live production is based on the films about male entertainers. Tatum, who starred in the Magic Mike movies, is co-directing the show set to begin in November. It's expected to be similar to Magic Mike Live, based at the Hard Rock Hotel in Las Vegas, which has a great storyline.
So Halloween to Magic Mike. That's called variety, people. You're welcome. 8 News Now, Good Day's back right after this. Good morning.
Las Vegas history.
Good morning. Now on Good Day, President Donald Trump in Singapore right now for an historic meeting with North Korea. Why the president says he's very confident.
Plus, setting up shop for a good cause. How a local lemonade stand is helping kids in need.
And an NFL star gives back to his hometown. We're talking about Brandon Marshall trying to get more fans involved.
8 News Now Good Day, the Valley's news leader, starts right now.
Now, live, this is 8 News Now, Good Day.
Good morning. Time is 4:30. I'm Nia Wong in for Kirsten Joyce.
I'm John Langland. Hope you had a wonderful weekend back at home. You were busy?
Kind of. Stayed at home mostly.
Yeah, I stayed in the heat, did a little go-kart racing up at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It was really hot and really windy and dusty and gritty up there, Sherry. A really warm weekend.
Yeah, I knew that wind was going to kick up a lot of dirt being outdoors, so hopefully it didn't interfere with too many people as far as outdoor plans go. We've got a beautiful sky out there this morning. Not too much of that wind left over, and it did its job to cool us off just a little bit Sunday, dropping us back to the 90s. Look at that beautiful moon just hanging in the eastern sky this morning, working its way into a new moon this week. Not much of it left in the next couple of nights. 79 right now in the middle of town, 70s in Henderson, North Las Vegas, just under 80 degrees. So we had low triple digits Saturday down to upper 90s yesterday with the influence of that weak cold front that blew through. We're going to keep it sunny. We're going to get the heat back. In fact, today we're right back up to triple digits, above normal, I should say, and we'll look for even more heat with excessive heat watches coming as soon as tomorrow. We're going to get to the roads at 4:31 and see what's coming your way. hopefully nothing to get in your way this early. Nate?
Exactly right. That's a thumbs up on that one, Sherry. We're moving right along. A lot of times the overnight hours include a closure of the North 95 to the South 15 flyover ramp. Not the case today. It's wide open. So here you see those folks moving right around on that ramp. This will be the new I-15. Nothing doing there now. South I-15, the temporary lanes, the North 15 doing just fine. In the spaghetti bowl on our maps, it is all clean and green, and the rest of the freeway system, no crashes to let you know about. The little earlier slowdown on the South 95, 515 around the Charleston curve. All gone for now. We'll keep an eye on it all morning long. John, Nia.
Thanks, Nate. In Singapore, the stage is set for an unusually high-stakes summit between two world leaders.
President Donald Trump is meeting North Korean leader Kim Jong-un in a little more than 12 hours. Kylie Atwood was there as both arrived in Singapore yesterday.
President Trump landed in Singapore and met with the Prime Minister there, a day ahead of his historic summit with North Korea's Kim Jong-un. It will be the first time a sitting U.S. president meets with the leader of North Korea. When Mr. Trump landed, he said he felt very good. And about 24 hours before the meeting with Kim, he tweeted, "Great to be in Singapore, excitement in the air." And though the president has said that this would be a get-to-know-you meeting that would be the first of many,
I think it's a process. I've told you that many times before. I think it's not a one-meeting deal.
He has also warned that he will walk out if he does not feel things are going smoothly. Expectations are high.
It's a one-time shot.
The Trump administration has long said its goal is the complete denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula.
I feel that Kim Jong-un wants to do something great for his people, and he has that opportunity, and he won't have that opportunity again.
Kim Jong-un landed here on Sunday 5 hours ahead of President Trump, and he flew in on a 747 Air China plane, showing off China and North Korea solidarity.
This will be a historic meeting, but Susan Rice, national security advisor under President Obama, warns that others have cut deals with North Korea only to see them fail.
The problem is that at every turn, the North Koreans would make commitments and then break them. And we need to be mindful that that is, again, what might happen.
Mr. Trump is slated to meet with Kim on Tuesday at 9 a.m. in Singapore. That's 9 p.m. Monday in Washington. Kylie Atwood, CBS News, Singapore.
President Donald Trump has told reporters he thinks he'll be able to size up the situation with Kim early, saying he has, quote, a touch for these types of negotiations.
Tomorrow is primary election day across Nevada, and if you still did not cast your ballot early, you can do so tomorrow at any of 172 voting centers. We have the locations and hours on our website. Our Politics Now team is hosting a 1-hour election special from 9 to 10 Tuesday evening. Then we'll have a breakdown of all the winners on 8 News Now at 11.
4:34 right now. The local Salvation Army is stepping up to serve new smiles to those in need. It worked with the California charity to host a free dental clinic yesterday. Staff aimed to help the homeless, the low income, and uninsured patients with cleanings, extractions, and fillings. Organizers say a bright smile is one of the small things that can promote a new path to success.
When people lose their jobs or they become homeless or, they're kind of down on their luck, the oral health really gets neglected, and good quality dental care with good trained clinicians really helps to not only boost people's self-esteem, but also help them long-term with their overall general health.
Makes you feel good. It means that it's people that do care about you.
This was the free event's third year. Nearly 100 volunteers helped make it possible.
New breakthroughs are giving kids with cancer a fighting chance. Yesterday, Las Vegas families came together to sell lemonade and raise money for more medical research. Brittany Edney has more on the mission behind Alex's lemonade stand.
The theme today is superheroes, which couldn't be more perfect because kids like Ava here, well, they're working to fight back against childhood cancer, one cup at a time.
Do you want a lemonade? Do you want ice? It's important to help out because there's so much kids that you don't realize that when you lose them, you don't realize how much you actually need them.
Sadly, 10-year-old Ava Levere has already felt the impact of cancer when she lost her 2-year-old little brother, Brady, to the disease last year.
He was really silly, and he was also very crazy, and he's always jumping up and down, and he wanted to make people laugh and smile. Come get lemonade! Thank you. You're welcome.
In Brady's memory, she's pushing forward to help raise money for research that could help other children.
All these kids they're going through something that you couldn't really say that you know what it's like.
But adults can appreciate the love these kids are pouring into every cup.
But really seeing kids get involved at such a young age, I really hope they continue with this and it drives them and they continue to do this throughout their entire life, because we're only as strong as our community is.
And each donation, big or small, gives researchers the chance to change the lives of children with cancer.
New treatments, it's very hard to find. There's not much cures we can help out with. So it's good to help out because you never know what could happen.
Since 2014, this event has actually raised more than $18,000 for Alex's lemonade stand. So it is an amazing way for the community to get involved for a great cause. Brittany Edney, 8 News Now.
Alex Scott started the Lemonade Days program. He died at just 8 years old. The national event grew from Alex's front yard lemonade stand and is now held every June.
An NFL star from here in Las Vegas is giving back to his hometown. Brandon Marshall held a youth football camp Saturday, and then yesterday the Denver Broncos linebacker held his second annual kickball tournament to benefit cerebral palsy treatment and the Nuff Said Urban Mentoring Program in Las Vegas. The former Cimarron star said it's all about bringing the community together.
I'll never forget where I'm from, man. Never forget my roots. This is something that I've always wanted to do as far as, giving back and, creating something fun for the community. So, I'll always be here, man, doing things because it's my home and it's where I came from, it's what made me. It's dope, man. I want to get the community involved instead of maybe having like a celebrity basketball game where all they could do is just watch. I want to get the community involved and get the feel that they could play with us and against us, man, and I think it's better that way.
Marshall's entering his 6th season with the Broncos. He's also invested time and money to help the Denver community, and he makes sure he comes back to Las Vegas in the offseason as well.
All right, time to get serious now. We are following major developments from the world of breakfast food. Next, when we should learn what's behind IHOP's big name change.
Plus, pickles are great on burgers, but for dessert, yeah. An odd treat a fast food chain is rolling out today. Tastes great, less filling.
You're watching the Valley's news leader with Kirsten Joyce, John Langler, Sherry Swensk, and Nate Tannenbaum. This is 8 News Now. Good day.
Today, IHOP will end the mystery behind the decision to drop the P and add a B. Last week, the restaurant announced it's changing its name to IHOB, and apparently it's a serious move. The only other clue offered? Well, the company says the change will show how serious it is about food quality. Right. An odd summer treat starts today.
It's Sonic's new pickle juice flavored slushie. The drive-in chain describes it as sweet but tart. It's just one of the summer's brand new flavors. The other three are Bahama Mama, Blue Hawaiian, and Tiger's Blood. But the company says pickle juice has created by far the most online buzz.
You don't say. All right, it's 4:42. Today, net neutrality officially becomes a thing of the past. In December, the FCC voted to repeal the Obama-era rules requiring internet service providers to treat all content equally. Well, the repeal takes effect today. The agency said the regulations were unnecessary and unhelpful. The FCC saying that, by the way. Critics say internet service providers will now have too much control over the flow of online content. The Senate passed a measure halting the repeal, but the House did not act on it.
Crowning a pageant queen in Pahrump for the over 60 crowd.
Coming up next, Nate will talk about being a judge for the Miss Senior Golden Years contest over the weekend. That and pickle juice next on 8 News Now.
You're watching 8 News Now. Good day.
Some of the wildest cars ever created were on display Saturday night in downtown Las Vegas. It was the inaugural Intergalactic Art Car Festival. Featured a collection of cars dressed as monsters, cartoon characters, and aliens, many of which shot fire or blasted music. They paraded down the strip before parking for the festival and altogether raised $20,000 for community art programs.
Yeah, right on Fremont.
Yeah, very fun though, right?
I thought that was Burning Man or something.
Well, there was you could have been confused because there was just all kinds of nutty stuff that the kids get into. You know what I mean?
Those pesky kids.
Yeah.
And their fancy cars.
Are we talking under 40? kids, or what kind
yes,
of kids
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, to people, to you and me, Sherry, everyone's a kid. But
Looked like a lot of fun. Looked very downtown-ish.
Yeah, it did.
I think all ages. All ages.
So,
Speaking of all ages.
Yeah, and you were busy over the weekend at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Yeah.
I was out in Pahrump for the 16th annual Ms. Senior Golden Years pageant, meaning you have to be at least 60 years old to enter the contest. It was a lot of fun. It was a packed house in the showroom at the Saddle West Casino. They did have a swimsuit component to the competition, but the swimsuits were from the early 1900s.
Interesting.
As a judge, though, it was a real pleasure meeting and getting to know all 6 contestants.
Autumn Casterline, Pam Ranieri, Terry Rogers, Joanne Sturley, Sharon Crisp, and Mary McRory. The 2017 Miss Senior Golden Years, Mary Ellen Swarovski, took her final walk and talked about accomplishing her goal, bringing a traveling mammogram van to the Pahrump area so women can get checked for breast cancer.
And my hope is that they'll continue to serve the women of Pahrump and other rural areas of Nevada. Knowing my passion for the issue, it makes me smile when my friends report to me that they've received their annual checkups.
It was a tough assignment for my fellow judges and myself. That's Brenda Kazmarek on the left and Audrey Johnson on the right. And behind us, the pageant director, B.J. Hetrick Irwin. The contestants were serenaded by a face familiar to Las Vegas television viewers from years ago. Tom Saida now owns a car dealership in Pahrump. And to cap off the evening, MC Steve Elliott announced the winner.
And new Miss Senior Golden Years USA is Terry Rogers.
It sounded like a big crowd.
Oh, it was a packed house in the showroom at the Saddle West Casino. So my thanks to everyone from the organization for inviting me to be a judge.
Cool.
Well,
like a
now,
lovely time.
this is an observation. It seemed that Terry was showing a little more skin than the other contestants. Did that have anything to do with it?
Well, there were other parts to the judging. There was the interview, there was the stage presence, there was the platform. So it turned out that Terry was the winner.
It sounds like all these ladies make a difference, too, in the community.
Exactly. That's exactly what they're trying to do.
And I'm just joking. You know that, ladies. Yeah, beautiful. Every one of them. What a cool thing that you keep doing, Nate. That is so neat to be. Maybe they will follow suit with the Miss America pageant and not do that swimsuit portion of the contest anymore. All right. I was looking forward to that part, though. We didn't get to see that. All right. So we've got this little sliver of a moon that's hanging out there against the clear sky. We cooled off a little bit over the weekend from low triple digits to upper 90s with the help of all that wind. I don't know about you, my pool was a mess, so was the patio, so I had to do a lot of cleaning yesterday. We're down into the comfortable 70s, but not for long, because as these afternoons heat up, so will the mornings too. We're looking at nice 67 at Red Rock, 60 in Pahrump, very comfortable there, 70 in Mesquite, 68 in Kingman, still some 80s in Boulder City. We'll look for a high today of 102, so back up above normal we go. Yesterday was 98, where we should be spending a little more time, but not this week. 5:23 the sunrise and 7:58 the sunset. The west will stay dry, except for the Pacific Northwest, while the eastern sections of the country get a pretty good soaking. We will be looking for temperatures to take really a spike. In fact, excessive heat warnings have been issued, or watches, have been issued for Tuesday and Wednesday as we look for this ridge of high pressure to really build in the heat. Today, 102, not too tough, but once we get to tomorrow and Wednesday, we're looking at temperatures 106, 107, and that means highs about 115 along the Colorado River Valley and easily about 110 or higher for the valley. So just be careful. Cooler 90s arriving for the weekend. All right, on the roads with Nate. What's going on, Nate?
Well, a report of a crash in the southwest at the on-ramp to the southern 215 Beltway at Durango. A camera not showing anything, but keep an eye out just in case. Reportedly on the 215 on-ramp from Durango. Rest of the freeway system is looking pretty good. Maybe some slowing southbound on the I-15 coming coming out of the spaghetti bowl, and of course it'll get crowded here in the next little while. And by the way, John and Nia, lots of folks in Pahrump coming up to say howdy and how much they enjoy watching us on 8 News Now. So thanks everybody in Pahrump.
Thanks, Nate. The 8 News Now team is asking for your help pitching in for our community. Our company Nexstar is celebrating Founders Day Friday, June 15th. In honor of that, we're teaming up with the Pal NV Foundation.
It helps low-income families, senior citizens, veterans, and the homeless care for their dogs and cats by providing food, pet food, and cat litter each month for free. June 15th, you can drop off your donations right here at the station from 6:30 in the morning to 5:30 in the evening. Our address, 3228 Channel 8 Drive.
And coming up at 5, the Golden Knights' historic season will never be forgotten.
We'll tell you about the exhibit being put together and what fans are being asked to donate. That and more on 8 News Now.
One of the best governors we've ever had.
You're watching 8 News Now. Good day.
The Golden Knights storybook first season is over, but their ability to turn Las Vegas into a hockey hotbed won't soon be forgotten.
John Treach has a look back at what will go down as one of the greatest sports stories ever told.
That's what you dream of. That's what you dream of as a player. You get into a fit with a city, you get a fit with a group, a fit within a staff. That's the trifecta. You can't ask for anything more than that, and that's what's, like I said, that's for me personally. That's what made it so much fun this year. It was the best year of my life.
Less than a year ago, it was a team without players in a town without expectations. Falling in love can happen fast.
It's crazy how the city came together, and I think I'm just lucky that I was a part of it.
Vegas born and built at the intersection of triumph and tragedy. The city was beyond broken, yet completely united.
We are Vegas strong.
Speak that the home opener was, it's probably going to go down as one of the best things in my career that I've ever done, and I'm just proud as able to do it.
And then they won and couldn't stop.
I think this group was so focused on achieving a goal, and that was winning the Stanley Cup. And everyone thought it was crazy, but I think everyone in this locker room thought it was possible.
The Knights turned 6-goal-a-season scorers named William into human highlight reels, known as Wild Bill.
I'm forever grateful that Vegas brought me here in the first place, let alone they believed in me.
The best part, they loved every minute and moment of being Vegas.
It's been the time of my life, honestly. I couldn't ask for anything more.
Neither could the city that, against all of its own odds, just hosted the Stanley Cup. John Treach, 8 Sports Now.
Hard to believe.
Oh, I love that story.
Yeah. Go Knights, go. One more time. We're back after this.